Oh my goodness, you guys. I'm not even gonna pretend like 5 years married isn't like a thing to celebrate. It's not a feat. It's not something that we conquered, because when you start looking into, or you start finding out that one of the like leading causes of divorce is infertility, and you have literally been trying to have a baby for the last 5 years, like you basically started trying on your wedding night and it hasn't happened, like that is a lot of stress on a new marriage. That is a lot of stress on a relationship. And if Paul wasn't sleeping right now, he would tell you he was actually really, really proud of us, because it honestly has been really challenging. So we eloped in Italy 5 years ago. And so we actually hadn't been back to Italy since, and Italy is genuinely my favorite place on the planet. I just feel like God is really shining there, because there's mountains if you want it, there is beach if you want it, there is like drier areas if you want it. I just feel like you can get absolutely everything in Italy. And so we just had to go back. And plus the flights, I honestly think like we did go away a lot. I went away a lot last year. But honestly, you guys, the flights, the Airbnb, the train tickets, like everything came to just, I think just £700 for the two of us. So we love a bargain, but with those type of prices, we had to go back to Italy for our 5-year wedding anniversary. Anyways, the trip was actually really, really good and exactly what we needed. We had just been away 2 weeks prior to this, because my aunt and uncle had come to meet us in Spain. And although it was so great to see them, it's always nice when you're just like the two of you as a couple and can take your time doing the things that you want to do, wake up when you want to wake up, etc. And so honestly, this trip to Italy was exactly what the doctor ordered. You'll see though, I feel like there's only clips of Paul eating. I won't lie, part of me is feeling super self-conscious in front of the camera. You could probably see by some of my TikToks, I'm talking about the IVF weight gain quite a bit, because I've never been that person to hide from the camera. And I've noticed since I've put this amount of weight on, I am behind the camera more than in front of it. And I feel like that might be a kind of conceited thing to say, but I don't know. It's just where I'm at. And it has definitely not put a damper on things, because I'll be totally okay with like not having a picture of myself. But you know, at this moment of time where I'm recording this voiceover, my brother was just in England and my nephew was just in England, and I have like no photos with them because I'm just hating the way that I look in front of the camera, and that's just something really foreign to me. I modeled a lot when I was a little kid, and the camera is something that I'm fairly comfortable with, and to see myself shying away from it is pretty wild. But anyways, there are literal people dying in the world. It's not the end of the world. We'll shift this IVF weight and, you know, life will move on. Anyways, one of the things that I'm like loving might be a strong term, but we guys, we've had our baby's name picked for almost this entire 5 years, and there was just a little sneaky peek of it. There's a name that I loved, and it's a word name that people are either gonna love or hate. Actually, to be honest, we've started telling people in our lives what the name is, because I feel like when you choose certain names, it's like almost like you need people to be prepared for it, because you know they're either gonna love it or hate it, and it's like may as well just get them used to it so it's not that much of a shock to the system. But when I had brought this name up to Paul, I was like, right, I don't even think you're gonna like this name. It's a bit Marmite. Ooh. He was like, actually, I love it. He's like, I absolutely love it. And I said, I just don't know if it's a responsible name to give a girl. And he was like, well, what about this? And if you saw that little sneak peek of it, you'll know that that's the full name. And then we've shortened it, which those are your clues, okay? So anyways, it's really fun to start seeing the name everywhere. For us, it just kind of feels like, is she around the corner? And you guys, I totally feel like it's going to be a girl first whenever that time comes. I want it to be a boy first, but I just feel like it's going to be a girl first. Has anyone else had like inklings like that? Or is it just me? Anyways, after we spent a few days in Rome, we headed down to the south of Italy to a place called Tropea. Did anyone watch Stanley Tucci's Searching for Italy like we did? Well, he went to a place called Tropea, and we watched this, I feel like it was like just after the Panny D. And yeah, we were like, oh my gosh, we have to go there one day. And so we got train tickets down to the south. The train tickets were not that expensive, and we spent most of our time in Tropea, and it was just like the most magical little place. So quaint, but slow, but magical, and just like honestly what the doctor ordered. I was also ovulating this trip, which you'll come to see gives us a really wild surprise when I go for my next ultrasound. And if you are the type of person to watch longer videos, I mean, I feel like I'm giving you so many hints of what comes next. Let me know in the comments if you actually listen to this voiceover, because you are the real MVP. But anyways, we loved Tropea so much so, you know what, Paul is the type of person that is like, he will want to go back to the same place all the time. He's a creature of habit. He doesn't like deviating from what he knows. I am not that person. I like change. I thrive off of new things. And it's not that I wouldn't go back to Tropea. I would. I just don't know if I would spend as much time there as we did on this particular trip. So with that being said, I feel like I've said this before, I want to buy a place in Italy, and Paul is now advocating for us to buy down south, which would be smart because it seems a little bit cheaper. But I think I'm more of like a northern Tuscany kind of gal, but let me know if you have a preference. So many of you have asked why this journey is so delayed, especially when you were seeing the line progressions on our last transfer. And I mentioned it in other videos, but I'm very aware that not everybody sees every video that goes out. And you guys, in September, we were in Spain. Then in October, we were in Italy. And then the end of October, I was in Brazil. And so when you have that many trips that are so back to back, it's kind of hard to not only try naturally, because will you be somewhere at the same time as your partner when you're ovulating? And then the other thing is, it's been really hard to know if I'm going to be able to take any medication that my fertility clinic wants me to take. And so it's been one of these things where it was like, do I buy the meds? Do I not buy the meds? Do I try to get someone to inject the meds? Or do I just figure out that, you know what, this is us out for this cycle? And so I did end up getting the meds, and I'll be sharing that with you because it wasn't good. And it's just definitely throwing us for more loops. And I'm just really sad for how this journey has not been straightforward or easy, because wow, like, my body's been through a lot, and it's not just the weight gain aspect that has made that really difficult, but just dealing with the hormone repercussions of everything my body's had to go through. It's been a lot. So anyways, here was a long rambly video of what our trip to Italy for our 5-year anniversary looked like. Hope you made it to the end. Bye.